तू चलता चल तू चलता चल तू चलता चल.
Good morning, everyone. Today, I'm going to talk to you about personal growth. Personal growth is something which we do and the practices that we do to grow ourselves in various areas like our emotionally, physically, mentally, professionally, and whatever we are made up of, the society, the social adaptability, the emotional strength, the career race, whatever our society, our life is made up of, we try to increase our strength to survive that, to enhance, to excel the skills that we need to need to survive that areas. Now, personal growth, self improvement, आपकी knowledge की increasement of your knowledge, enhancement of your knowledge of varied areas, your personal qualities like cooperation, your leadership, your sociability, and various things, just to in order to attain the objectives that you have set for yourselves, the goals that you are planning to achieve. Why is it necessary to work upon personal growth? Like, can we not just stay in the state that we are in? Well, we always have some aim. We always, whenever we reach some stage, we always desire for another stage. We always desire to get something extra. And to get something extra, we have to be someone extra. We cannot get a level up status by becoming this level person. So, in order to attain your goals, in order to attain something more, you have to be someone more. You have to be more skilled, more knowledgeable, more. You have to grow as a person. This is the basic of focusing on growth. Now, there can be very varied goals for everyone. For example, someone wants to get a promotion. Someone is looking forward to become a better person, better version of himself. Someone might think that he's not healthy enough, he's not fit enough. So that might be his intention. That might be his reason to focus upon personal growth physically. So these are all the areas. Yes, these are the areas I was talking about for personal growth: physical, spiritual, social, mental. Now, discussing about these areas individually, physical area is talking. In physical area, we think about better diet, eat healthy, eat timely, include all the meals, practice workout every day, practice focused workout. Like, workout needs are not same for everyone. Some people want to increase their strength, some want to increase their stamina. So it can differ based on individual, and so is personal growth. It can differ for everyone. Personal growth can mean different depend on their growth needs. So physical needs all about your body, your fitness, your physical strength, your physical needs. Now, next is spiritual. Spiritual is more about knowing yourself, your beliefs, and the society where you live in connection between this. Your inner self is what we focus upon in spiritual growth. Then comes social growth. Social growth is society, that people, your social needs, your social adaptability, your sociability. We focus on all these areas where society, where your friends, colleagues, team members, everybody is involved, is social growth. Then comes mental growth. Mental growth includes your knowledge, your reasoning abilities, your mental capacity, your anything that involves your brain is mental growth. I hope you understand this well. Now, coming to what are all the ways, what is the process that is required to enhance your personal growth? Now, personal growth can differ. Everyone has different needs and everyone has different areas of growth, but there can be a common process that we can follow to grow. I'm going to share the process with you. Yes, this is the process. I have given it some my touch because I believe that some things are required. It starts with objective. You always have a clear objective in your mind. What do you want to achieve? It can be triggered by anything. Either you're facing some difficulty that triggered a need for a change, a need that you should desire something better from yourself, or maybe the desire to improvement. It can be any reason, but you have to have an objective that what do you want to achieve after the certain point of time. Now, objective also has some qualities. They are varied, but we are going to keep it simple because we are talking about gaining knowledge. We don't have to write an exam based on this. So the two basic needs that an objective must have, according to me, are it should be time bound and it should be specific. Now you can have two extra if you want to read some extra: time bound, achievable, specific, realistic. Now, what does it mean? Supposedly, you set an objective, but you didn't set any time for its attainment. Now, are you going to be punctual about your activities? Are you going to be punctual about practicing that every day? No, because you didn't set the time target that within the given time I have to achieve this objective. So it's really important to give it a time. Otherwise, you're not going to achieve it at all. You set an objective, okay, this is what I'm going to achieve. Maybe some fitness objective, okay, I'm going to lose 5 kgs or 10 kgs, so on. But you didn't set a time. Kab? Set a time. Makes you punctual, regular, and keeps you reported. Then comes achievable. It should be achievable. It should not be impossible something. Like, for example, if you have studied from some science background, you have done your degrees in science background, and you think that after a year you want to become a CA. That's not possible. That's so impossible. So it should be achievable. You can become CA, but then you have to study altogether different subjects and give it time. Not in 1 year. Then comes specific. Be specific. For example, I told you if you want to reduce 5 kgs, that is specific that 5 kg you will reduce. Now, if you would have said that you want to lose weight, that could have meant anything. Kitna? Set specific goals so that you can report them, you can measure them, and you can set a trend that how much you are improving. Like if you have targeted 5 kgs in a month, then how much you are improving in a week, how much you are reducing in a week. So it should be specific, achievable, time bound, and realistic. You all know the meaning of realistic. Your SSB aspirants. It should not come from a dream. Dream as in fairy tales. We live in a real life, and these should be realistic. Objective ke baad comes really important thing. Sorry. Yes. Motivation. It's very easy to set objectives. Everyone starts gym. They all go first day. And what keeps you going every day is motivation. That yes, you desired something and you also want it badly. You desire for that. Now, how to stay motivated? And what are the things that define whether you are motivated or not? Sometimes we set objectives, we are not aware whether we really want it, how much we desire for it, and should we really go for it. To measure your motivation, I've given this theory. This theory was given by Victor Vroom. It's actually a managerial theory for motivation, but it's really interesting. It applies for everything. According to Vroom, motivation is made up of 3 things: your expectancy, instrumentality, and balance. In other words, we can say efforts, performance, and reward. If any of these 3 things is missing, you cannot be motivated. Now I'm going to explain it better. Expectancy means your belief in yourself, that you can work upon it, that you can perform. Instrumentality means if you will perform, and you will perform well, and you will be rewarded. Believing that after your performance you will get rewarded. And balance means how much that reward is worth it. Do you really need it? Do you really want it? How much that can satisfy you? I'll give you an example. Believing in yourself means, supposedly you're preparing for an exam. What will be the reward at the end of it? You will get the job, whatever it is, become an officer, you can say. Now, expectancy would mean here that you believe that you can prepare it, you are capable. You have all the idea, you have all the abilities, you have this strong belief that you can prepare for it well, you can really do it well. Now instrumentality is, after performing so well, after performing so well, you will be rewarded. This is your instrumentality, that you will get some reward at the end of it. Now balance means the reward. Is this meant for you? I mean, will you be satisfied? You'll become an officer, but do you really want it? You desire it. If you don't, if any of these things, if you don't expect, if you don't believe that you can perform well, you will not be motivated. You have to believe in yourself. If you believe, but you don't expect that you will get any reward at the end of it, for any reason, for example, you think that I belong to a general category, there is a huge reservation, I might not get it even after performing well. Or for example, question paper might be tough, I am well prepared, but this year they might set a quite tough question paper, and uh, because of COVID, I might not be able to travel, or whatever the reason is, you are thinking that I will perform good, but I will not be rewarded for some reason, whatever it is. Next comes, so if you don't believe in reward, if you think that मेरी performance से कुछ नहीं होगा, मुझे कुछ मिलना नहीं है end में, so will you be able to perform well? No, you will be demotivated again. Now, if you have expectancy and instrumentality positive, but the reward is not worth for you, you don't want it, or you don't desire it, you won't be satisfied, you don't want to become an officer. So will you be motivated for expectancy, for working hard for it? No. So according to Vroom, you should believe in yourself, you should be positive about the results, that is instrumentality, and you should desire the result. Three things only, these three things cumulatively can make you and keep you motivated. And motivation is really important when you're trying to make a change in yourself, whatever it is, behavioral change, knowledge change, physical changes. Because once you lack the motivation, you lack the commitment, you lack the practice, and behavioral changes require everyday practice, regular practice. Then comes plan. Okay, you set an objective that this is something you want to achieve. It can be anything. I'm not saying you want to achieve, you want to become an officer. It can be your habit change, that you want to lose this habit or gain this habit, or you want to excel communication skills, whatever it is. You set an objective, stay motivated, that why it is important for you, focus on it. Then comes plan. It's really, really important to draft a plan if you want to achieve something, if you're really serious about it. I am a firm believer of written plans because they tend to be more focused upon than an mental plan. So if you're really serious about it, you want to attend it, try to make a plan in written. As it is said, writing something gets half of the job done, because it makes you more serious, more accountable when you write something down. Then comes strict schedule with flexible windows. Well, when you plan something, you plan the preparation. Don't make it entirely rigid, don't make it entirely flexible. Keep it rigid to what are all the things that are important, that are basic. For example, you're practicing a habit change. Keep it strict. Practice it every day. What you can be flexible about is, you can be flexible about the change. You can be flexible about the time change. You can be flexible about the around time. Like if you're practicing something 4 to 5, have some flexible hours around it. Don't clock the hours. Just have some flexibility, but practice the main thing every day with regularity. I would like to give an example of this from NFA only. NFA girls group is really punctual, and we practice something every day. We are regular. This is strict schedule. We don't skip any day. We do something every day. Now, what is flexible here is, maybe not the way we have scheduled, maybe not according to the timetable, because sometimes if someone has presentation, she might not be available, so we fix in something, we put something else, we do some other activity, but we don't miss the day, we don't miss the practice. That is strict. But we practice anything if something is not available. That is flexibility. So make your plans with The combination with a proper combination of rigidity and flexibility. Rigidity to keep you punctual and regular, sincere. Flexibility to let you not be tired, to let you not miss things, because sometimes situations occur when you can't really practice, when you can't do it, when you have to miss it. Then make it, then shift it, change the time, do it in your traveling period, whenever you get time. Just have some flexibility and rigidity, both. Practicable plans should be practicable. Don't make them extraordinary. You are not a superhero. Know your strengths, know your abilities, and make the plans accordingly. Practicing is what's important. A strong plan, a very fancy plan is not important. Important is you practice it. Next is precise. Be clear. Your brain doesn't accept vague commands. Be clear about what you want to do. Specific. Give it time. Give it goals. Small goals like today you want to do this much, and today you're going to help these many people. Give yourself goal, specific about numbers. Then comes present tense. Now, writing in present tense, these are very psychological things about plan. Write what you want to be. For example, if you have planned to plant a tree, some people try to develop this habit of plantation. So you are planning for tomorrow. Write it: tomorrow at dash dash pm am, I'm planting a tree. Like, and if you have planned something after 5 months or a year, on this day I have become this, I am doing this. Present tense already starts making you believe that you are there, you're doing this, you've become that, and that is a very strong feeling to keep you motivated. So writing plans in present tense is very psychological, but it does magic. Try it, it'll work. Next is action and commitment. Action is whatever you have drafted, whatever plans you've made, action upon them. And commitment is the most important step in this entire process. Everyone can set objectives, everyone can make plans. As I said, first day gym sab jate hain. But what is important is you go every day till you target it. You do your work every day, stay committed to it. Love your work. Commitments. So, what are the ways you can be committed to your work? What are the ways you can have regularity? And I have written down some points. You can follow some of those if you cannot do entirely. Like an accountability partner. An accountability partner can be anyone, yourself, or a blog, or whatever you, if you have any blog or something, you can also do that. If you have someone to practice something with you, that's best. What you do is report each other, see your progress, be accountable. That will give you a sense of responsibility. That way you will be more serious and punctual about your work. Have an accountability partner. You can also make your own group. You can have your diary. Write something. Write down your daily plan. Spend a day working on that, and at the end of it, report it. How much you worked upon it. Where did you lag? Did you do everything? Check it. Then comes conscious to unconscious. So this is really important point. When we don't have any habit, we are doing something important, when we are suppose we are attending class or giving lecture, anything important, we stay conscious. We do with our full consciousness. But otherwise, we throughout the day we're not that conscious. So it's really important to stay conscious. For example, if you're trying to undo a habit, stay conscious when you're doing it. Try to do that. For example, you're trying to avoid, if you use a lot of abusive words, people use in general way of talking, stay conscious when you're doing that. Every time, if you say that, stay conscious, talk to yourself that you don't have to do it. Conscious, if you do it for practice, if you practice for a month, a general habit change requires 66 days around, but you'll practice at a month. Suddenly, this consciousness about saying something or adapting some habit will turn out into unconsciousness. Then you will start doing it unconsciously. Unconsciously, you stop saying abusive words. Unconsciously, you'll develop some habit you have been trying to develop. So this is the journey from conscious to unconscious. Stay alert whenever you're doing something wrong or whenever you're not doing something that you should do. Then comes set a constant goal reminder. The easiest way of doing it, write your goal on your study table. If it's about studying, and set a goal reminder. Tell people. It's very good. Tell people, tell your family that this is something you're trying to work upon. They will keep telling you. If you go wrong, they will only stop you. If you go right, they will appreciate you. So it's really good to have a goal reminder. It can be a person. You can write it down somewhere where you see every day, all the time. Then comes start simple. When you don't have a schedule or when you don't have a habit, when you're not someone you're trying to become, don't suddenly become that. Because even in workout, we say that when we try to lose weight very quickly, like in a month we have to reduce 5-6 kgs, that we also gain that weight very quickly. If you have to do it in long run, lose slowly. Similarly, if you want to develop a habit forever, you want to change as a person forever, start simple. Don't become that person in a day, because that won't be a habit change. That will just be a very conscious change which will vanish suddenly. Start simple, slowly improve, then push your limits at the end. Start simple, make it a habit slowly. Develop it slowly, then push your limits if you can. Beginning. Then comes review. In review, I just have two things to say: compare, control, compare, control. Compare what you had thought, what you had planned with what you have done. Control it. If it's not right, if there are deviations, control them. How to control them? We start from objective, motivation, plan, and so on. That's a very small process. It looks long, it looks huge, but it's small. So review, compare what you have done with what you had decided. If any deviation, control it. That's all. This is something for you all. And thank you so much for listening to me very patiently. I kept it very simple and brief because understanding was my motive. Thank you so much, everyone. I hope you enjoyed.
Thank you so much. People, if you have questions, please do ask.
Yes, ma'am, I have a question, ma'am. I have a doubt regarding the flexibility and rigidity of the schedule, ma'am. I was not able to get that part.
Okay. Actually, by that I meant whenever you plan something, don't make an entirely strict plan in which you are deciding every minute, every half an hour. No, don't do that. Give yourself some flexibility, because if you keep a strict plan since the beginning, you'll get tired very easily. You will lose the commitment to your plan. So have a combination of strict and flexible plan. For example, the important thing, what you're trying to work upon, can you tell me?
I'm preparing for my examinations, JEE examination.
Okay, JEE examination. So you must have decided some hours of study or some you have decided hours of study or topics to be covered in a day. There are two ways of covering things in a day. You either decide that these many hours I'm going to study, or you decide these many topics I'm going to cover today. How have you decided?
I start my plan with the topics and I follow that.
Okay. So what you have to do is be strict about the topics. Now keep the flexibility, as in if you generally study in the morning without fixing hours, you couldn't for some reason.
Okay, Rashmi, what you are doing is absolutely excellent job. You are absolutely on the right track. See, I will first talk about the flexibility part. And the flexibility part is very important for most people, most of our students, and they falter in this. and they tend to give up. Let me explain. You had a plan that you will go for a run. You will take your timing. Your schedule said 8 kilometer run was there today. Now it starts raining. Now 95% of our Indian society will just pack up that day. Fine. Like I see your example in the situation reaction test, that light suddenly goes off. So you say, okay, now the good time to have a chat with, with all family members and be very happy about it. So that's not a great way of leading life. Now you should always have inbuilt flexibility in your plans, that in case it rains, then what is my plan B? Similarly, you had a plan that you were to study at this time, this duration, and some quadrant 1 activity comes up, emergency crisis comes up at home or with friend or somebody, so you have to do that. So again, so this puts off your plan. Now what happens for most of us, we say that since sometimes rain will come, sometimes Omicron will come, sometimes teacher will say something, sometimes parents will say something, so why have a plan? Because plans don't work. And that is the case with a large number of people. So this is something, do you agree with me? Does it happen with you people or not?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Don't allow this thing to happen. You got to get back on track. These things will happen. You think these things don't happen in my life? They happen. But we get back on track. We said, okay, yaar, emergency है, इसको निकालते हैं. We'll again get back to our plan. Rain है, like आप लोगों का तो जैसे होगा, मेरे लिए तो I don't get put off by rain only. If I decide to go for a run, I'll go for a run in the rain. अब कई लोग बोलेंगे ठंड है, पता नहीं क्या हो जाएगा. मेरे को ठंड में भी कुछ नहीं हुआ है. If I decide to go for a run, I'll go for a run in rain, in winters also. Fine. So ये हुआ आपका rigidity और flexibility वाला मामला. तो इसको adjust करके चलिए. Now coming to the question of Arpit. Now what happens? I'm sure Rashmi is aware, but she was not answering in that context. You see, what happens, Rashmi and Arpit? हम सब लोगों के जिंदगी में अलग-अलग roles होते हैं. I have a role as a family member. I have a role as a parent. I have a role as a mentor to so many students. I have a role as a sports person. I am a sporting competitor. उसकी भी मेरे कोई मतलब role है, उसके मेरे कुछ targets हैं. So what we do, we create compartments of these. And roles और goals के हिसाब से compartment लेकर चलिए. आपका जॉब इंटरव्यू जो है वो उसको कंपार्टमेंट करके रखिए कि इसके लिए मुझे इतना स्टडी करना है, ये मेरा मेंटल प्रिपरेशन, एंड दैट्स इट. वंस दैट थिंग इज ओवर, इट्स फिनिश. दैट कंपार्टमेंट का डब्बा जैसे ना ड्रॉअर क्लोज कर दी, वो क्लोज हो गई. नाउ यू शिफ्ट टू द अदर कंपार्टमेंट.
Yes, sir.
फाइन. यू गेटिंग द पॉइंट, अर्पित?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
रश्मि, you agree with me?
Actually, I was trying to give a little time to everything based on the preparation that you have.
Similarly,
Yes.
it's just that you didn't hit upon this word compartment. Now it makes it pretty
Yes,
clear.
sir. I was
ये
trying to
roles-
cover everything.
या रोल्स गोल्स का कंपार्टमेंट बना दो और रखो कि ये मेरी इतनी ये ड्रॉर्स हैं या इतनी फाइल्स हैं और ये फाइल मैंने अब क्लोज कर दी. I'll get back to it when I when the next time comes for it. So in this manner you plan out, and multiple things can be managed in this manner. Fine?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Arpit, has your question been answered?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Yeah, thanks a lot. Anything else you want to add, Rashmi, to this?
I'm looking forward to questions if there are any.
Sir,
Maybe-
I have a question, sir, if I may ask.
Go ahead, Ayush.
Sir, I have this question regarding flexibility and rigidity, sir. Sir, how can we differentiate between when we have to be flexible and when we have to be rigid? Because I have seen in my past few months of studies that I mostly resort to procrastination in the name of flexibility. and that hampers my schedule, and I regret a lot that why did I procrastinate? Now I have to put double the effort in less amount of time,
So,
and in this way I
so
lose
may
a
I
lot of
answer
time.
the question?
Yeah, Rashmi, go ahead.
Yes. Actually, procrastination, I totally connect to that because I used to be a procrastinator. Not anymore. I improved. How you do it is, मैंने जो फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी और रिजिडिटी का बताया है, फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी वहां रखो जो चीजें आपकी रेगुलर हैं, इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है फॉर योर गोल, लाइक योर daily chores, you are reading a novel or something, you're sleeping hours and days, all these things, regular things, keep these things flexible. Rigidity वहां रखो जो तुमने अपने गोल अचीवमेंट के लिए डिसाइड किया है. जैसे प्रोक्रेस्टिनेशन को कैसे फाइट करते हैं, इसका एक बहुत अच्छा तरीका बताती हूँ मैं. इन द बिगिनिंग और अ डे बिफोर, प्लान योर डे प्लान में ये नहीं करना है कि दिन भर क्या करना है. राइट डाउन 3 to 4 things that you have to do in that day. कभी भी, no time given, nothing, but you have to get these tasks done. Write these 3 things in front of you. The next day, do these things. At the end of it, wherever you have written these 3 things, check those that you have done these, and make someone accountable. Write your plan, do it, check it. That's how you avoid procrastination. Be accountable, be responsible. This is how I fought procrastination. So,
Yeah, Rashmi, your point is absolutely valid. Firstly, so once you get your life somewhat sorted out, you become a proactive person, your motivation and all is in the right place, तो ये procrastination का issue आना बंद हो जाता है, and as you grow,
when I started,
हाँ, तो होगा. I think you would have left it way behind. I left these things way behind. I don't know when in the history.
it's been long. It's like
हाँ, so you would have also
3-4
left it
years ago.
behind.
And yes, sir.
तो क्या होता है फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी वाला, आप देखो, अबाउट प्रोक्रेस्टिनेशन, आयुष, आई हैव रिटन अ ब्लॉग ऑन इट. इट्स देयर इन द बुक. यू गॉट अ, हैव यू हैड अ लुक?
Yes, sir.
हाँ, उसको पढ़ो, समझना. इफ यू हैव एनी क्वेरी टू सेटल देम विद मी. Fine. Now what is happening is, whenever you are coming across these things, you take your mind back to the time management matrix, where you see the activities which are there in quadrant 1, then quadrant 2, in that manner. See, I'll take my example. Let's say I took off about 3-4 days off for my interviews, and in that I planned to do some writing work and all that. That plans were there. Now what happens? Now a student comes up and he has got a problem, and he wants to discuss some, issues and all that, which I was totally unprepared for. He is going for SSB, and something has come up in his family, in his own life and all that. And that discussion takes up 1.5 hours. It can happen. Now what happens is, this is a flexibility I have to have in my routine, that this is something which is urgent, because people's problems cannot be printed. अब वो SSB पहुंच गया है, या वहां पर उसका सेल्फ डिस्क्रिप्शन मैंने चेक करना है, या he's got some violent problem at home, which which is of urgent nature for that person, it becomes a quadrant 1 activity for me. I have to take care of that. So I have to perforce shift certain things which were there on my schedule for that day. They will have to be shifted to the next day. This is the flexibility part, but it's not that I will not do it. You getting the point?
Yes, sir.
And such like the example I gave you, such things will happen in your life also. But when you on your own voluntarily just decide to play some computer game or waste time on social media and not accomplish your target, then you are taking on quadrant 4 activities, and you need a kick for that.
Yes, sir, absolutely, sir.
If something of quadrant 1 comes up, then you have to take it on, but not this quadrant 3 and 4 kind of activities,
Yes, sir.
You had a look at the time management matrix, Ayush?
Yes, sir. I've gone through that, sir.
Good. It's important to understand. Rashmi, you also gone through that?
Yes, sir.
Kindly go through. Rashmi is very, very important. This time management matrix planned by Stephen Covey is a very, very useful tool. It will not only to sort out your life, it will be very useful for you because you are an educationist like me. So in guiding your students, you'll need this.
Sure, sir.
So can we say that, morning, sir? Sir,
Morning.
can we say that
You
what
can
you
say a
just
lot
said?
of things, but you need a kick. That is very, very clear, buddy.
Sir, regarding what you
अच्छा,
just
सुमन
said.
है, सुमन, मैं समझा
Yes,
सैयद
sir.
बोल रहा है.
No,
सुमन है,
no.
सैयद needs a kick definitely.
Okay, sir, so what you just said, can we take it as a form of altruistic motivation? Because what I observed is that if altruistic motivation in itself is a single-handed tool that allows, that builds you as a better leader and as a better person overall. What you just said
मुझे
regarding.
clarity नहीं आई. क्या issue क्या है? Motivation related to what?
Regarding altruistic altruistic form of motivation, like when you do things for someone other in a selfless manner, for someone else.
I understood. But काम क्या है?
So if we take it as a form of motivation, practice it daily, so the other leadership skills in their own get developed. So is it right to say that?
No, I will not say because I have not understood your point clearly.
Sir, I think he's trying to say that when you are selfless towards others, you're trying to help them all the time. Altruistic means. So, does that practice help you in becoming a better leader? That's what he's trying to say.
Well, anything you do well, that will help you become a better leader. And leadership is what? I mean, you are identifying what are the priority things to be done. In this manner, you are becoming a good leader for your own life. And then you identify issues for the group and you guide the group, work towards those. That's the leadership role.
Yes, sir.
So, hoga, it will work.
So,
So can I
Suman
add
also
something?
asked.
Yeah, please go ahead.
He raised the point of altruistic motivation. It is already mentioned in your book, sir, and there are other 2 points as well. That is intrinsic motivation and extrinsic motivation. So when you take all these three things along, then you can definitely, as you suggested, sir, you would move on a path of self development. Because अगर हम खुद ही किसी चीज के जानकार नहीं है, तो हम दूसरे को क्या सिखाएंगे वहां पे? तो altruistic motivation का कोई काम नहीं हो पाएगा वहां. उसके लिए extrinsic
You
और
see,
extrinsic
when
आएगा.
you are getting onto these aspects, this extrinsic, intrinsic, and altruistic, these dimensions, I have explained to strengthen your motivation, and I've given examples also. Like you have a person who is a marathon runner, so he runs, he trains. So primarily his motive is to excel and to be the best that he can be. That's his primary thing, what he's working with. Now, what happens is he is representing his country and all that. So that support also adds on, he feels that the goal he is going to achieve is something bigger than what could be his only selfish motives. So that makes him, the motive even stronger. You
Yes,
getting
sir.
the point?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So that is the angle towards having the altruistic motivation. It becomes stronger that way. ये पहले अपने लिए कर रहा था, अभी पूरे देश के लिए कर रहा हूं, तो that adds on.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And sir, also regarding something that you said earlier, when the moment you use the word compartment, so I could clearly picture that it means single-handed focus, and it means to separate the task when it is done. Once it is done.
Absolutely, yeah.
So it is one of my hobbies to give presentation and speeches, and this what I learned today is that using the correct terms at the correct time allows us to picture the what we are trying to say in the audience's mind, and this was wonderful.
एब्सोल्युटली हाँ, मैं अभी क्लास में आ गया तो मेरा रोल एजुकेशनिस्ट का हो गया। उससे जो था 1 घंटा पहले मैं स्पोर्ट्स पर्सन था। I was just competitive sports person, tennis player, competing and trying to be the best that I can be on tennis court. And now my role has changed. और वो कंपार्टमेंट में बंद कर दिया मैंने ड्रॉर। अब कल सवेरे खुलेगी।
Yes, sir. It is difficult to practice, but it's
Not
wonderful.
difficult. Not difficult. You can do it.
Yes, sir.
You can do it. और फौज में हम करते ही हैं। Like फौज में क्या होता है? It's very normal when you are a company commander and you are at an isolated post. So what happens? Morning start होता है. That time you are a physical fitness trainer. उसके बाद दिन में काम होती है, तुम जो है ना पेट्रोलिंग एम्बुश बता रहे हो तो सडनली यू बिकम अ टैक्टिक्स ट्रेनर। देन कोई यू आर प्रैक्टिसिंग फॉर स्मॉल आर्म शूटिंग राइफल देन यू बिकम अ वेपन इंस्ट्रक्टर। फाइन। फिर उसके बाद जो है देयर इज सम ऑफिस वर्क एंड ऑल दैट, छुट्टी प्लानिंग एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव, कोई रिटन वर्क है, कोई प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करना है, तो देन यू टेक ऑन दैट रोल, यू नो, दोस एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव रोल्स। फिर सडनली शाम होते ही तुम कबड्डी खेल रहे हो तो नाउ यू बिकम अ स्पोर्ट्स पर्सन।
Yes, sir.
तो वो सारे रोल करते हैं वो देख, एंड वी हैव लिव्ड दिस काइंड ऑफ लाइफ ऑफ प्रैक्टिकली ऑल आवर लाइफ। अब जब वो है, जब ऑफिस में है तो तब जो है यू नो दैट फॉर्मेलिटी इज देयर कि भाई ये सीनियर है, जूनियर इज आल्सो यू नो टेकिंग लिटिल, ही इज यू नो little bit reservation is there, formality is there in relation. अब कबड्डी में तो मेरी टांग पकड़ेगा ना वो।
Yes, sir.
You're getting the point. So
Yes,
this is a very good way of leading life. You know, फौजी लाइफ बहुत बढ़िया है कि अब स्पोर्ट्स ग्राउंड में आ गए, अब वो कुछ नहीं रह गया फॉर्मेलिटी, अब तो टांग पकड़ के गिराना है।
Yes, sir. Very well explained.
Yeah, that's how it is. And that's the beauty of our Fauji life. That's why I like infantry life very much. Okay, I think we've had a good discussion. We'll call it a day. Yogita, you have a plan now for something for Sunday? So do make a plan. Okay, then take care, all of you. Thanks a lot. God bless.
Chairs
Bye-bye.
and table
Thank
free.
you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Have a
Bye.
great
Thank
day.
you very
Thanks,
much, sir.
Rashmi.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Have a great day.
My pleasure is
Jai
mine.
Hind, sir.
Jai Hind, Jai Hind.